We are responding to the negative arguments and also why we as the affirmative should win the debate. First, in reference to the PAcode.com statement, it clearly states that any type of abuse is to be immediately reported to the person in charge, which in this case would have been Joe Paterno. Joe Paterno assumes full responsibility from that point forward because he is the head coach, no matter if he witnessed it or not. He was aware of these accusations and should have told the police instead of the athletic director. The athletic director clearly understood how serious this could get, but wanted to protect the respected Hall of Fame coach instead of telling the police. This should never happen, no matter who the coach is. Innocent children have been quiet for too long, just because an athletic director was concerned with losing the most respected college football coach of all time. Based on the grand jury report, Sandusky did retire in 1999, but he was still granted access to all of Penn State's facilities and was still very much a part of Penn State football. If Jerry Sandusky was still using Penn State's facilities, then Jerry Sandusky is still Joe Paterno's responsibility, whether he knew it or not. Joe Paterno is the face of Penn State football and should have complete control of everything that is happening within the football program. Being old is not an excuse when you are holding hundreds of student-athletes' careers in your hand. Although it is known that Paterno is the greatest football coach of all time, there is no excuse for being lazy and not caring about the future of your football program and for the future athletes that wish to pursue a football career at Penn State. Penn State's reputation from this point forward will be forever tarnished for many years to come, and the only way to terminate this issue permanently is to take away the problem, which is Paterno. Sexual abuse, especially when dealing with little kids, should never be ignored. There is no exception or excuse for this extreme of a crime, especially within a college athletic program as prestigious as Penn State. Based on your article titled "Media Chose the Wrong Penn State Story," media is used to inform the public about important current issues. An issue such as this one should never be ignored, no matter who the coach is and how successful he has made an athletic team.
We are responding to the affirmative's arguments and also stating why we should win the debate. Your argument for significance simply lays out the multiple allegations attributed to ex-assistant coach Jerry Sandusky, as laid out in the grand jury report of 2011. Although these crimes are horrible, they are not directly incriminating to the recently removed head coach Joe Paterno. Coach Paterno did his lawful duty in accordance with Pennsylvania law. His firing was simply a result of public relations which involved Penn State trying to save face amidst a resentful and upset nation. The argument for harms claims that by not firing Sandusky, Paterno, and McCreary, Penn State would be condoning touching and showering with little boys. However, as we know, Sandusky retired in 1999 and still kept emeritus status, allowing him access to the facilities despite concerns over Sandusky's behavior already being accounted for. And even still, McCreary and other administrators who were equally involved and did nothing are still employed by the university. Therefore, if Paterno was fired for his little involvement, there's no reason to not fire everyone or keep everyone in an effort to at least base disciplinary actions upon more sound rationalization. You say that according to the mandated reporting laws, that a report must be made when the reporter in his or her official capacity suspects or has reasons to believe that a child has been abused or neglected. Mike McCreary and Jim Calhoun were eyewitnesses to the incidents, and neither of them filed reports, nor did either of them get fired. In the same boat as Paterno, multiple administrators received knowledge of the incidents or reports from their inferiors, and yet all of them, besides Paterno and university president, were able to keep their jobs. These findings were not justified, nor were they right. As referenced before, the Bleacher Report states that Paterno didn't know if the allegation was true or not, while McCreary knew for a fact that the atrocity had occurred. It can be believed that the fact that McCreary wasn't canned before Paterno lends pretty strong support to the argument that Paterno's firing was merely meant to satisfy an outraged nation. In conclusion, the negative side of this debate has surpassed those of the affirmative. By the clear-cut evidence we have stated, Joe Paterno is innocent. He has suffered by being brashly fired and interrogated by the media. There has been not nearly enough evidence for this action to be justified. With so much uncertainty revolving around the situation, Paterno was never given the chance to defend himself. Coach Paterno played by the rules on and off the field and should not have his name tarnished.
After tonight's debate, we have heard both sides of the issue regarding Joe Paterno's involvement or lack thereof in the Sandusky sex abuse scandal. Whether you believe Joe Paterno should or should not have been fired is something that will be argued throughout the years to come. Meanwhile, evidence and the prosecution of Sandusky will continue to surface all over vast media outlets daily. Does anyone have any questions to wrap up the evening? Thank you again for your participation and questions during the debate, and thank you for coming out tonight to listen to Joe Paterno, enabler or bystander.
Just monitoring that we had people here.